Bluehost is a pretty big name in the world of web hosting. It's recommended by WordPress and is generally considered one of the starting points for those launching a new website. But being one of the biggest doesn't always mean being the best. We wanted to see if Bluehost actually lived up to its marketing, or if it's just a well-known name. So we bought and configured everything from their cheapest $4 per month plan to the more expensive plans that offer more tools. The short answer is that Bluehost delivers a very smooth on-ramp if you're new to the game, particularly if you're using WordPress. However, we found that its AI tools lag behind the competition and its data privacy practices left a bad taste in our mouths. We started our testing with the shared hosting plans, specifically the starter tier. This is the entry-level option, priced at around $4 per month. It's designed for single-site users who need the basics, a blog, a portfolio, or a simple personal website. The sign-up process was incredibly quick, and we appreciate that they include a free domain for the first year, a CDN, and an SSL certificate right out of the gate. The real win here for beginners is the custom dashboard. It's clean, well-organized, and gives you immediate access to the essentials without overwhelming you with technical jargon. When we ran performance tests, the entry-level plan actually performed admirably. This is likely due to their use of NVMe storage and the integrated content delivery network. If you're launching your first site and want a low-stress setup, this shared plan is a perfectly comfortable place to start. Next, we looked at the WordPress hosting plans. It's worth noting that Bluehost is actually one of the few providers recommended by WordPress.org, so our expectations were pretty high. In reality, the specific WordPress packages are essentially the same as the shared hosting plans, but they come with managed features. This means Bluehost handles the routine maintenance, like updating the WordPress core, themes, and plugins for you. We installed a site using their one-click installer, and it was pretty seamless. Performance-wise, we had no complaints. The environment is well optimized, and we had no noticeable slowdowns. If you're intimidated by the idea of managing a CMS, these managed hosting plans remove that barrier entirely. However, the experience hit a bit of a snag when we tested their website builder, known as Wondersuite. This tool is built on top of WordPress, aiming to combine the simplicity of a drag-and-drop builder with the power of the CMS. Unfortunately, the execution felt a bit rudimentary. We used the AI site creator to generate a website based on a prompt about classic cars. We expected a tailored layout, but what we got was fairly generic. We tried again with a business prompt, asking specifically for a dark theme layout, and the AI largely ignored our requests. Instead, it served up 3 templates that were basically identical in structure. While the builder is functional for absolute novices, the AI features lag significantly behind competitors who offer smarter, more distinct layout generation. If you have a specific vision in mind, you might find yourself fighting the tool rather than working with it. Things got much more technical when we moved up to the VPS hosting plan. This is where you leave the set it and forget it world and enter the realm of root access and server administration. We opted for the standard NVMe 4 plan. Unlike the shared plan, setting this up requires some comfort with a command line interface. Bluehost uses Alma Linux 9 as its default operating system, which is a pretty stable choice. However, we had to manually configure the server via SSH. We created a new user with sudo privileges, set up SSH keys for security, configured the firewall, and installed the LAMP stack to get the server ready for web applications. This is standard procedure for unmanaged VPS hosting, but beginners should be warned. There's no setup wizard here. You need to know your way around a terminal. Once configured, the VPS offered a noticeable improvement in speed and reliability. Our performance tests showed that the server response time was excellent. If you're a developer or student looking to learn Linux administration, Bluehost's VPS is a solid standards compliant sandbox. Finally, we tested the heavyweight option, dedicated hosting. This gives you an entire physical server to yourself, ensuring total isolation and guaranteed resources. We chose a plan with an AMD Ryzen processor and NVMe storage. Configuration was nearly identical to the VPS, using Web Host Manager or WHM to manage the back end. We enabled specific features like the FTP server and server-side caching using OP cache to speed up PHP requests. The performance was, as expected, robust. We saw low latency and high performance scores, making this a sound investment for medium to large websites that need to handle traffic spikes without breaking a sweat. Then there's the customer service. This is where Bluehost was a bit of a mixed bag. The support team was accessible via chat, but the quality of help varied wildly. We sometimes had to provide excessive personal information just to get answers to simple questions, and in one instance, a support agent sent us a link to a beginner's guide that didn't even address our technical query. More concerning was the data privacy issue. Almost immediately after signing up, we received a barrage of spam emails offering website design and logo creation services. It appears Bluehost sold our contact information upon registration. While you can opt out of some communications, having your data sold so quickly is a significant negative mark for a paid service. Ultimately though, Bluehost is a solid stepping stone. If you're a freelancer, a blogger, or a small business owner who values an easy start and strong WordPress compatibility, it's a good choice. choice. The shared and WordPress plans are performant enough to handle daily traffic without issue. But if you're a power user who needs cutting-edge AI tools or a privacy-focused consumer who hates spam, you might find that Bluehost's mass-market approach rubs you the wrong way. For everyone else, it remains a reliable, if slightly imperfect giant in the hosting ecosystem.